Hi everyone, my name is Deborah and welcome to the Edit by DH. Welcome to another video. Welcome to a Givenchy beauty video. I haven't done one before. I obviously have bought Givenchy before, but primarily perfume and also their famous lipsticks, which if you don't know by now, you should know about it because they have some incredible lipsticks alongside their interchangeable lids, which is always super fun, and they also do limited edition versions as well. I'm really excited to show you my first impressions of all the makeup. I try to get as many products as possible to do a full face. This is the final look and I'm really excited to show you what I got, what I think, etc. As always, I apologize if there is any background noise. Unfortunately, there is a construction site opposite and it just happens to be the case where I say I'm going to film and then suddenly they start banging and playing the sound of music practically with their tools. So I'm really sorry if you hear any disturbances in the background, but I hope you enjoy. And now let's go back to the beginning. I am just going to start with a little bit of skincare. Firstly, I got the Skin Perfecto Eye Contour. It's firming, smoothing eye care. This is what it looks like. It's in a pink packaging, which is quite different to their regular packaging. Indulge in Givenchy Skin Perfecto firming and smoothing eye care and witness a 360 enhancement targeting every aspect of the eye contour from crow's feet to eyebrows and eyelashes. The expert applicator creates an instant cooling effect as it smooths and massages the eye contour, enhancing the fresh texture that provides 24-hour hydration. An eye cream powered by active ingredients that directly target the eye contour, including an energizing vegetal extract and firming peptides. And then you can read more about it on the website, but that's exactly why I bought it. Then I got a very interesting product called 𝕬𝕓𝕤𝕗𝕗, which is a compact UV protection SPF 40 PA+++, so PA triple plus. I have never come across a product like this, so it kind of intrigued me. So this is what it looks like in the typical black and with the Givenchy logo. When you open it up, it has a mirror, the sponge, and then you open it up to reveal this very unique design. Now, I'll tell you more about why it's so special. It's an exceptional black and white cream in balm texture, combining revitalizing black sap extracted from vital algae and rebalancing French red algae, enclosed in a nomadic compact case for protection and absolute skin comfort. With SPF 40 PA+++, the product provides protection against UVA and UVB rays, as well as daily aggression. Areas of shine are reduced, skin complexion appears more even and radiant. So when I was speaking to the beauty assistant, she was explaining that it's basically like a skincare product and you could get away with using like a serum and then this, or your moisturizer and this, or even just this, because it has got skincare in it, as well as obviously quite high sun protection. So I just found that really intriguing. Mix and swirl the two, like so. It has got perfume sort of in the middle of the list. So again, if you have skin sensitivities, just be mindful of that. With anything, I'd always recommend, even whether you watch my review or someone else's review, to always check the ingredients list, just in case, especially if you have skin sensitivities. So you just basically apply it to the skin. And when I apply it, it just instantly feels very cooling. So you could absolutely apply this instead of your regular SPF. So that's applied. Let me see if it makes a difference to my skin in terms of my makeup application later on. The other skincare item I got, I guess, is called the 𝕊𝕦𝕓𝕗𝕗 Prep and Set Glow Mist, which is a primer and setting spray with SPF 45 PA++++, which is an on-the-go refreshing and airy 4-in-1 cloud of protective glow that preps skin and sets makeup. So you could absolutely use it before your makeup, you could absolutely use it after your makeup. Its main key benefits are obviously the SPF, which is very high, SPF 45, 24-hour hydration, 24-hour wear, 24-hour radiance, 12-hour perfection, 80% natural origin ingredients, 100% skincare formula, antioxidant, water-resistant, waterproof, smudge-proof, fine and airy light diffusion. So it sounds like pretty much everything you'd want from a spray. I love the fact that it's got SPF in it because, you know, you're supposed to really top up your SPF every sort of 2 hours, and especially if you're living in a country like I do, which is Singapore. But also many people get confused. They think you only apply SPF when it's sunny, but actually you apply SPF regardless of whether it's sunny or a cloudy day. And really, who has time or energy to top up SPF every 2 hours, because I certainly don't, even though I should. To be honest, I'm rarely in a situation where I'm outdoors for more than 2 hours. In that regard, I guess I am protected, but it is a good habit to get into. Now, when I'm applying my SPF cream, whether it's this SPF, etc., I normally apply it underneath my makeup. My foundation often does have SPF, and then my makeup goes on top, so my foundation, my powder, my bronzer, my blush. So if you think about it, if I were to then go back in with my SPF cream or even this and apply it on top, it's actually ruining the makeup that I've got on top. So that's why I feel like a setting spray or a SPF spray is so handy, because it doesn't actually ruin the makeup. Yes, your face is probably going to get really shiny or glowy, but then you could just afterwards, what I tend to do is just sort of like spray it on, let it sort of set a bit. And then once it's settled down, I go in and powder the areas like the T-zone that I feel like I need to set. But then at least you know you've got that SPF protection, and it's so easy to apply because it's just a fine mist. So that's what I love about this. So I'll use it beforehand as sort of like a initial skincare mist, and then I'll use it after as a setting makeup mist. So give it a good shake. Again, it does have a fragrance in it. So again, that's something for you to be mindful of in case you have skin sensitivities or in case you just don't like fragrance. I have to say though, in terms of fragrance, it smells really pleasant. It smells expensive. It's still quite a light fragrance. It's not like cloying or sickly, for example. Next, I'm going to go on to their 𝕕𝕦𝕓𝕒𝕣𝕚 Glow Serum Foundation. This is a skin improving foundation for 24-hour blurring glow and 48-hour hydration, which is powered by ℚ𝕝 acid and ceramized yuzu extract, and it comes in 30 shades. The key points are the cap contains 74% recycled plastic. It's got 94% natural origin ingredients in the foundation, and it's made in France. The performance of a foundation, so it's 24-hour blurring glow and 24-hour wear, waterproof and transfer resistant. It's got the efficacy of a serum with 48-hour hydration, and it's powered by ℚ𝕝 acid and ceramized yuzu extract. It is clinically proven to improve skin instantly and over time, 62% more blur instantly, 71% less color imperfections instantly, and 4 times more blur, more glow, and more visible hydration in just 2 weeks. It's one of those foundations that claims to have more skincare benefits in it than sort of like makeup ingredients. Plus, it's one of those foundations that apparently help to improve your skin over time, even after you remove the makeup from your face, which is interesting. And that's probably because it has so many skincare ingredients in it, of which 94% is natural origin ingredients. Plus, it's hydrating, but also blurring. So for me, this sounds like the perfect foundation because I absolutely need hydration and glow in my foundation because of my dry skin type. But I also have pores, so blurring would really help that. So I'm really intrigued to see the performance of this foundation, and it's the first time I'm trying it on camera. I got the shade 0.5N. Now, I wanted to go warmer, but the sales assistant was insistent that this was the right color for me because she was saying that I'm paler than her, and she, I think, was wearing like 1 or 1.5. So I trusted her and went for this one. So let's just see and pray and hope that it's the right shade. If not, then I'm just going to have to use a lot more bronzer than I intended. So this is how much product came out of the foundation with one pump, which is actually quite a lot. Now, I didn't get any Givenchy brushes, so I'm just going to use a different brand's brush, but I'm sure they do brushes. Please do let me know if any of you guys use Givenchy brushes and what you think of it. Would you recommend it? If so, which one specifically would you recommend? So as I predicted, it is a bit paler than I thought. I think ideally one may be better for me. I think because the foundation is so light, coverage-wise, I can get away with 0.5. Especially once I apply my bronzer and everything else. And because I didn't get a concealer, because I have, like, honestly, so many concealers, not to sound crude, coming out of my arse. So I didn't need or want another concealer. If you are that person who likes to perfect your skin, look more flawless, or want more coverage, then I would highly recommend wearing this with a concealer. And it's not a bad thing, because honestly, I genuinely do prefer foundations that have a lighter coverage. I've used half, as you can see, of that one drop, and it's covered half my face. I will go in with more afterwards, but I just kind of wanted to show you what it looks like as a half, with and without. You can see obviously the difference. And also I took it all the way up to my eye because I don't have a concealer from Givenchy. So just to show you what it looks like. Doing the other side now. To be honest, the color incorrect foundation match was my fault because the makeup artist didn't know I have makeup experience, but she was insistent that it was the right color for me. And I just knew gut feeling wise it wasn't, but I still listened to her. And I tend to do that more with brands that I'm not really familiar with. And you know, when somebody's so confident, but it just goes to show that if you know your skin and you know your shade, just trust your gut instinct. And if it's wrong, it's your fault rather than the sales assistant's fault. So let me use my fingers because I'm wondering if the coverage will be better. I mean, normally brush is better, but to be honest, I really love how it feels on my skin. Very lightweight, and it doesn't feel drying at all. So I just went in with sort of maybe half a pump more just to give a little bit more coverage, and I think it's done the job. I know probably on camera it looks fine for the color, and absolutely I don't feel like I'm wearing like a super white mask or anything, but definitely is a little bit too pale for my skin. I feel like I am overall happy with the finish. I think it's a gorgeous finish. Obviously I will see how it settles down. It's definitely a light to medium coverage. And so for me, I feel like I kind of need a little bit more coverage, but I'm reluctant to put anything else on top that isn't Givenchy because I don't want to confuse the two formulas together from a different brand especially. So I kind of will just leave it as is and then see how my skin gets on so I could report back towards the end of this video. Next, I got the 𝕊𝕦𝕓𝕚𝕚 4-color loose powder. Now this is supposed to be like the iconic thing from Givenchy. Even if you don't own any Givenchy products, you'll most likely have seen this 4-color powder like this. And they do have different versions, but I got the number 1, which is 𝕕𝕤𝕚𝕚𝕚 Pastel. She highly recommended this to me. She was like, if you could get one thing, I would highly recommend this powder. They had 2 options for the lid. So there's a regular sort of typical lid that looks like this, literally like this. Or there was this limited edition special lid, which is a little bit more padded. And then it's got a gold GG. So I thought, why not? So let me tell you more about it before I apply it. It's got 7 shades. It's a new and improved ultra fine setting powder with 24-hour luminous matte finish and 12-hour set and blur. It's 24-hour luminous matte, 12-hour set and blur. It's 46% thinner versus the previous formula. Clinically proven to be 65% instantly more mattifying, 26% instantly more blurring, and it reduces color imperfections instantly by 44%. The 𝕕𝕤𝕚𝕚𝕚 Pastel is the color tone for fair to light skin tones. And because of the colors that are in it, which is the green, the blue, the purple, the lilac-y pink or pastel pink, I guess it's also supposed to be like color correcting. And I'm sure it has color correcting abilities and brightening. So when I open it up, it has a sponge that comes with it, which is a puff. Now, normally I'm not the biggest fan of loose powders. I just think they're super duper messy. And generally speaking, they're not very travel friendly. So you can either tip it into the lid, which is one way to apply it. I always find with these sort of loose powders is they go everywhere. I don't know if you can see it, but it literally looks like fairy powder, fairy dust powder flying everywhere. So when you first apply it, it's going to look like a lot. If you are scared of a lot of powder going everywhere, I would just sort of like tap off the excess onto your arm or your skin first before you tap onto your face. I think the powder is super finely milled and I can say it is blurring. I'm deliberately concentrating on the areas where I have huge pores, which is my nose and just outside of my nose. I don't know if it translates on camera, but I feel like there is a slight green tinge to my skin ever since applying the powder, or maybe it translates as grey. Anyway, let's move on because I accidentally spilled some and now my room looks like a narcotics factory. But let's just ignore that for a second and move on. So I don't think they had bronzer from what I could remember, or at least contouring. So what I'll do is I'll quickly apply some contour off camera because girl needs contour and definition, especially when she's got a white canvas. Okay, I'm back with a little bit more definition, which is highly needed. Next product I'm going to go in with is this really fun and pretty looking mirrored lid. It's a 𝕊𝕦𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚 blush, and it's a full color loose powder blush. It's the perfect association of color and light to effortlessly illuminate and sculpt cheeks in a 3D translucent healthy flush that stays radiant for 12 hours. So again, it comes with a cute little sponge, which I absolutely love. Much like the powder, I'm just going to give it a little shake onto this whilst holding the sponge firmly. A little bit of color diffusion. Now it's interesting because I don't ever apply my blush with a sponge. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of using the sponge. I will tell you why. Because it's got the GG holes. So when you tap it onto the sponge, or when you shake it onto the sponge, the powder comes out in that GG. So when you're then applying it onto your skin, it is spotty, much like the GG. So it's not the greatest way to apply the blush, I would say, unless I'm doing it wrong. So if somebody would like to share some tips and tricks, that would be great. I am actually going to go in with a brush, and I'm just going to gently tip out some of the powder into the lid. I'm doing it so I can get an even diffusion of all the colors. I'm just going to mix it onto my brush, tap off the excess, use the mirrored lid. I think the color is great. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And I think the sponge is great to keep the powder in place so it doesn't go all over your lid. But I am not a huge fan of using the sponge. My blush has never ever looked patchy, and it currently does, just because of the way I applied it. The base that I had underneath was so smooth, it should actually give an even smoother surface for the blush to go on. But other than that, I think if I just actually use the product in the lid, tap it on and use the brush, it's actually way better to apply. But that just might be me. Then I'm going to use a 𝕕𝕦𝕓𝕚𝕐 highlighter, which is in the limited edition, hence why this beautiful lid is in a sort of like sparkling pink lid. The perfect combination of a pearly pink highlighter and a radiant coral for a luminous adjustable finish. Again, similar situation where it comes with the sponge. I've learnt my lesson. I'm going to tap it into the lid, going to go in with a brush, and it gives this, wow, gorgeous highlight. It is absolutely stunning. Maybe a bit too much. Didn't realize how powerful it'd be, but it's so stunning. It looks wet even though it's a powder, which I absolutely love. There's a little bit of powder residue on the lid, so I'm going to use it for the inner corner of my eyes, just because I didn't get any eye products. The reason why I didn't get any eye products is because although the shadows were really nice looking, I have stuff that are so similar. And then there was one where I had like, I think 9 colors, and I only liked 2 of the colors, and I just thought it's not worth me getting it just for the 2 colors. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with the eyeshadow colors, where most of us are beauty enthusiasts, whether we've worked in the makeup industry or not, whether, you know, we do beauty content or not. And I think most of us have a good amount of, or a good selection of eyeshadow palettes. And for me, it just, nothing sort of stood out for me. Probably also because I have far too many eyeshadow palettes. I'm really impressed with that. Now I've got 2 lip products before I go on to my incredible gift for purchases. So I'm just going to remove some of the lip balm because I got a lip balm. This is the Rose Perfecto, which is a limited edition. It's part of the spring collection, as is the highlighter, by the way. And what you'll find is that they have the same packaging, which is so stunning. And less so in this light, but actually in artificial light, when you shine the light on it, it shimmers and sparkles so gorgeously. And then you just pull it out like this. This is a very like classic Givenchy lipstick packaging. You're very familiar with it. They often do limited edition. It's so, so gorgeous. And I know Givenchy are famous for their lipsticks, but I already have Givenchy lipsticks. That's one thing I did have. But I decided to go for a lip balm, which is color or tinted lip balm, and then a cream velvet lipstick, which are 2 opposite color spectrums. So this lip balm is more of a nudie kind of color, and if you see the packaging, it's just so gorgeous. It looks marbled, and then it's got the Givenchy stamp on the top, which is so stunning. It's a lip balm with 95% natural origin formula and 24-hour hydration. It's an ultra caring formula with vitamin C and hyaluronic acid. It's got 2 shades, which is the one I've got, which is 107 iridescent nude, and then it's got 230, which is a sparkling coral. So the 107, the shade that I've got, which is iridescent nude, it is described as a cloudy nudie pink with subtle silver glitters. Now, I know many of you might not be glitter people, and I'm not in the slightest, but it's so subtle so you can barely see it. It gives more of like a pearly sheen rather than this like childish glitter particle effect or look. So for spring 2025, Givenchy unveiled a new collection capturing the essence of the fresh and vibrant tones of the season. The iconic Rose Perfecto lip balm is reinvented in a new dazzling pink tone, limited edition couture case inspired by the latest fashion shows. For this occasion, Rose Perfecto lip balm is declined in 2 limited edition shades, a radiant coral pink and a cloud nude pink with golden glitters, to hydrate, plump and care for your lips while sublimating them with a radiant finish. So I've got nothing on at the moment. Again, it has a fragrance to it, but it is a lovely fragrance smell rather than something like super cloying. But again, that's something to bear in mind if you do not like scented lip products. You can see it's a very natural, gorgeous, everyday lip color where you want something on your lips but you don't want it to be too obvious. This will be the perfect choice. The other color was a little bit more of a coral, as it said, but I'm just not a coral person. I used to be very corally, and then I moved away from it, I think ever since my early 20s, to be honest. I can feel a slight tingling, which is nice because it feels like it is doing something, and that's probably the aspect that helps to plump it as well. So that is Iridescent Nude. Now I told you I had something very opposite in terms of color spectrum. And so the next lip product that I got is the 𝕬𝕓𝕠𝕦𝕓𝕖, the new blurry matte liquid lipstick with whipped texture for 12-hour color intensity and comfort, and it comes in 13 shades. I got the shade number 36, 𝕬𝕠𝕦𝕓𝕖, and this is described as the iconic Givenchy red. So the new color statement: an ultra sensorial whipped texture for a long-lasting blurry matte finish, an all-day high-intensity color. It's got long-lasting results, 12-hour wear, 12-hour comfort, 12-hour hydration, 12-hour smoothing effect. So 12 is the key number. I have never tried their liquid lips, and this is more of a cream velvet, so it won't be as runny as a liquid lip. But I'm so interested to see, and I love the packaging. And when I tried it in store, so I tried to find a classic red. You guys will know by now if you watch my content, I'm obsessed with reds. I feel like it's one of those colors that will instantly transform your face. But in terms of lipsticks, there was nothing. It was either like an orangey bright red or like more of a deeper, very cool toned bluey red, which I don't really tend to like or gravitate towards. I really like classic red. It's what I thought it would be, a just gorgeous classic red. Can you see it instantly transforms the face, instantly brightens. I love the fact that it feels very lightweight. Some liquid lip formulas can feel very drying and just make your dry lips feel even drier, just really highlight the texture on your lips. But this is really velvety, so easy to wear. I didn't put any lip liner on, so I just used a doe foot applicator to apply the lipstick and line the lips, and I honestly am happy with it. I don't feel like I need to go in and touch it up. Obviously, if I were going to a Givenchy beauty event and had to meet the CEO and, you know, brand directors, then obviously I would make sure it's the most perfect red lip. But as it stands, it does a great enough job on its own without lip liner. Again, there is a fragrance to it, so I'm just going to point that out, and I point it out for a reason because I know many people don't like fragrances. Neither do I in my lip products, but for me, this isn't sickly or cloying. It smells expensive. I don't know how else to explain it. It just smells like an expensive fragrance. I personally don't mind it, but if you are somebody who doesn't like fragrance at all in your lip products, then that's something to bear in mind. So let me just give you my final thoughts before I go on to gift with purchase quickly. You know what I think about this lip. I also love the lip balm. I think it's super easy to wear. It's something that I could easily just keep in my bag when I just want a little bit of color and I just want my lips to feel a little bit plump and hydrated. I absolutely love this balm. This powder, maybe it's just the way I applied it. I don't know if it's something that I would get behind in the future in terms of repurchasing it. I'm not the biggest fan of loose powders, like I said. And then there's the element of it being so specifically colored. When I first applied it, like I said, I just felt like there was this green tint on my skin, and I don't really particularly want to look like Shrek. But I know that green, like anything green colored, does tend to have like a color correcting effect to it. So for example, if you have redness on your skin, it's supposed to cancel that out. I'm not the biggest fan because it's one thing to apply a color correcting like primer before your foundation. It's a whole nother thing to apply it on top of your foundation as the final sort of setting element. I will continue to use it because I do want to use it and fall in love with it and understand why it is one of Givenchy's best sellers. Like I said, it could be the way I applied it, and maybe I'm biased because I'm not a loose powder fan, but I would love to know your thoughts. If you are somebody that uses this powder, swears by it, loves it, then please feel free to let me know why down below. I absolutely love the highlighter. I think it is so stunning. I love powder highlighters that look liquid, look wet, because you get the best of both worlds. Normally with powder highlighters, they look like powder highlighters and often are very like pearlescent, or and they highlight the texture on your skin. Whereas if you use an actual wet highlighter like a liquid or a cream highlighter, you get that beautiful natural glow, but then you get the wetness of it. So if the wind blows and your hair sticks to your face, it's not like the most elegant look, right? So that's why I feel like powders that have a wet finish are the best. And I would absolutely recommend using it with a brush like I did. I also love the blush color. I think it's stunning. I feel like it would suit so many people. Again, I'm not a fan of the sponge that comes with it, and I would absolutely recommend using a brush with it. But other than that, it's so stunning and I absolutely love it. Now the foundation, I love how thin it was and how natural it was. When I look at my skin, it just feels really nice, really comfortable. It doesn't feel like anything is on my face. It hasn't brought up any texture. I love the fact that it's mainly skincare ingredients, so I know that whilst it's sitting on my face, it's doing something good. So I do love it. I just wish I had gotten and trusted my gut instinct and gotten a slightly warmer shade. And so, like I said, I got given 0.5 N. I think I would probably go for 1 N. Perhaps, maybe one, depends. 1.5 might be a tad too warm, but maybe like 1 or 1.5 N. 𝕬𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚, I don't know, I think it has added like a smoothness to my skin. Most importantly, the SPF factor. So I'm going to continue to use it, and I'm going to use it with my other makeup as well, my other makeup brands, and see if I can see a difference with the regular makeup that I use, so then I can really tell if it makes a huge difference. But so far I actually really like it. And obviously, last but not least, I really love the Prep and Set Glow Set. And I'm now going to, even though my skin is already quite glowy, I normally do apply a little bit of setting spray after my makeup every single time. It just helps to kind of melt everything together, make everything look like skin and mesh together even better. More importantly, with this one, it's got SPF in it. So you know that applying it afterwards is just going to reset your makeup with SPF protection. You can reapply it during the day to keep and continuously, you know, protect your skin from UVA and UVB rays. Now, gift with purchase. I am so excited to show you. Because I spent a certain amount, I already had qualified for this specific gift set, and even this specific gift set was super generous. So I got given the flat nude pouch, that's what they call it. To me, it's like more of a pastel pink, but I really love it. It's just super clean. It's got the Givenchy logo on it, and more importantly, it's a very generous size. So you could absolutely use this for makeup, you could use it for even other things. And inside, that's what it looks like, and it's got this Givenchy silver logo on it as well. So I really love this. I'll show you like the set, if that makes sense. Then it came with a Givenchy sponge, which I absolutely love. I've received like loads of gift with purchases over time, and other than Korean brands, I don't think I've ever received a sponge from like a European or Western brand. But the best thing about this sponge is, so one end is rounded, as you can see, and the other end is flat, but the flat side has the Givenchy logo, which is incredible. I love that, and that's a really nice attention to detail. And then obviously they've got the pointed side, so it's great for the corner of the face. I don't use sponges very often. The only time I use sponges is when I'm forced to, or you know, if I ever wanted to do like really heavy baking, as in powder baking, if I really want to use loose powder to do the whole heavy makeup look, which I never do, by the way, but that's when I tend to use a sponge. But I just love this, and I know loads of Korean people love using sponges to apply their makeup, and normally their skin is flawless, so there must be a reason behind that. Then they gave me the Irresistible Givenchy perfume. This is the, I believe, the original one, or the classic one, because there are so many variations of it now. And how generous a size is that? Ironically, as I was sniffing the different irresistible range in the Givenchy store, I preferred the original. I was so happy to find out that it was included in this gift set. Then that same Rose Perfecto lip balm that I just showed you in the limited edition range, they have a mini one, which is so cute. And this time it's more of a matte pink leathery or faux leather case. Then you pull it out and it's got lip balm in it, which is so adorable. I don't think there's any color to it. It's 001. So again, I could just use that as a lip balm. I could gift it to somebody, but I think that's such a lovely gift. Then they have the Firming and Smoothing Eye Care. So I think it's the same eye care that I got, but the baby version of it, which is so great for travel. So I'm actually conveniently going away for the weekend and I can take this with me, so that's great. Then I got this really generous size of the 𝕬𝕚𝕚𝕚 Givenchy perfume, and I love the fact that it mimics the original bottle, which is so amazing. Now there are again so many versions of this 𝕬𝕚𝕚 perfume, but I believe this is the original, the one that was made for Audrey Hepburn. So I actually had a full-size bottle of this in London, but as I explained before, by moving to Singapore, I had to give away like most of my collection, and I had enough to open my own perfume boutique, just to give you an idea. So I gave it away to all my friends. But this one honestly is a stunning scent. It's a classic for a reason, and I'm so happy again that they gave me this. Normally when I get like perfume samples, it's not always the fragrances or the scents that I like. So I'm so honestly chuffed that I got given this one and the original Irresistible one as well. And then last but not least of this set, yes there's more, I got given Couture Capsule Pouch. So this is what it looks like. It's in the limited edition design, and when you open it up, it's just sort of this boxy design. It's got a detachable element to it, and really you can use this for whatever you like. You can use it for your accessories, you can use it for your makeup, other things, I don't know. But either way, I think it's a really nice gift with purchase, basically. So then I thought I was done in the store. I thought, you know, I've got my purchases, spent enough money, I can make my way home happily. And then the lady said, by the way, there is another gift with purchase, and you just need to spend X amount more. You can qualify for it. So that is exactly why I ended up getting the eye cream, because it was almost like the same amount that I needed to spend in order to get this next step up of gift with purchase. And honestly guys, I would say it was worth it. So I got given this, which is such a gorgeous, I don't even know what you call it, you can comment down below. It's got two double zips, and this bow, by the way, it wasn't on there, I added it because they always give you like a little Givenchy tag when you purchase something. So it opens up and inside it's spacious. So I love it, and I instantly thought I could use it for travel. I could even use it just to store my makeup in general in my makeup room. I could fit all my makeup that I purchased in here and some. So you can use it for makeup, you can use it for brushes. I could even use it instantly. I thought my Dyson hair tools I could put in here. So there's so many things you can put in here, even makeup. Obviously this is huge to carry makeup, but it's something that I could potentially use to carry my skincare when I go on holiday, especially when I go to Korea. I tend to go for like a month, and therefore I end up taking like bigger bottles of shampoo, of skincare, etc. So I instantly thought this would be great for that as well. So I just had to get it, and I do not regret it. It's just super solid as well, and it's got the Givenchy logo everywhere, including the handle, and I think it looks better in natural light. And I love the fact that everything is black/dark grey, so it gives it a more of an understated feel. So that's my gift for purchase. So I'd love to know what you guys thought of the products that I got. I would love to know if you are somebody that's already into Givenchy beauty. Would you recommend it? Earlier I asked about the brushes. I'd love to know your comments and thoughts down below. Please let me know if you'd like me to review more Givenchy in the future. It's not a brand that I have reviewed before on my channel, so I'd love to know if that's something you want to continue to see me review. And yeah, love to know your thoughts in general. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Take care.